Welcome, guys, to the sixth episode of our awesome series, Our Seekhein Chess. So, today we are gonna learn a special move by King and Rook, and that's called castling. And in the last episode, we had seen a special move by a pawn to capture another pawn to opponent's pawn, which is called en passant. Now, how does a castling work and what all is involved in castling? So, we will see in this. So, carefully watch this because there are very subtle rules when it comes to castling and you should be well aware of them. Otherwise you might end up on the situation where you are unable to castle and you're not sure what's happening. So be sure you watch this and do like, share and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's start. So right now I have just opened the game with e4. The side which has the queen, as in if you check from king to rook, there's only this side which contains the queen, so that is called queen side, and this side on the other side is called the king side. Okay, so castling is if you do the castling on the king side, it's called king side castling or the queen side castling. Okay, so how do we do that? First rule is you should not have any pieces between your king and the rook. Okay, so let's try to move them out. So I have just opened this board where I can play from both the sides so that it's easy to convey what I am trying to say here. So I'll just move this piece out, and let's say black is moving his pieces out. Now basically I need to move everything out. So I'll move the knight out. Okay, I could have done the same for this side. Here I'll have to move the three pieces out of the way so that the path between the king and the rook is clear. But on the king side, it's a short castle. Okay, because this is, distance is short, we can also term as short castle and long castle. Okay, always try to prefer to short castle. We'll tell the more details and everything in the later part of the series, but here just learn what is a castling. So now because both the pieces have moved out, there comes our castling. Castling is nothing but a king which normally always moves one step. Okay, will move in this case two steps. Okay, in the direction of rook. Okay, and the rook will just jump over the king and sit on the next adjacent square. Always remember this. Okay guys, so the what I was saying that we can do the same on the opponent side. Right now I'm controlling, so what we will do is we will just move this piece out. Okay, now understand, I'm just trying to show you how casting works. Don't go into the details of the game, that why we are not capturing, why the black is not capturing. It's fine because we are just showing how the castling will work. So we have seen the king side castling, now we are showing the queen side castling. Now for the queen side castling, I had to move all the three pieces out. So right now the bishop and the knight is out of the way of, but can it still castle? No, because the queen is still in the way. So I'll just move some move, and then let's move the queen out. Okay, now basically the three squares are blank. Let's move something, and now again the same thing. So what's the rule of the castling? Move your king two steps. Okay, and the rook will jump next square to the king. Okay, so if you see right now, king moved 2, but rook moved 1, 2, 3, right? Whereas in this case, rook moved 1, 2. That's the difference. That's why it's short castle and a long castle. Okay. Now, okay. Now there are more rules on when you are eligible to castle and not. So let's try to understand that first. Your king shouldn't have moved till then. Okay, so is that point clear? Your king shouldn't have moved till then. The rook which you're trying to castle with shouldn't have moved till then. Okay, so we have castled with this rook in this case, but our this rook could have moved. Okay, the other rook could have moved. So the two things which are in the castling, the king obviously and the corresponding rook, should not have moved till then. Okay, the king cannot be in the check. So for example, right now, let me see if I can reset the board. Yeah, so for example, I'll try to quickly show some variation here. I'm just trying to make some moves so that it makes sense what I'm trying to say here. Okay, can king castle? The white piece, both the pieces are out of the way of the king and the rook. The king hasn't moved till now. The rook hasn't moved till now. No, because the king is in check. Okay. Okay. Second, let's say I'm just trying to convey a message. Let's say, let's say this movement wouldn't have happened, and the queen would have come to this place. Queen, let's say, have come to this place. Let's say it had captured this and directly had come to this place. Okay, let's say through some way. I can reset the board and I can again put it into that format. But the point is this: is still, and let's say the king hadn't moved till now. Okay, although in this process we had shown that the king moved here and there, but let's say the king hadn't moved. So then the king hasn't moved, the rook hasn't moved, the pieces have gone out of the way, but can we castle? No. Why? Because the king, whatever squares the king goes through while castling, should not be under check. For example, king is going to move two squares, which is 1 and g1, and f1 is under check. Got it? Yeah. That's why we cannot castle. Now let's move to the black side. Interesting point. Now, for the black side, the king hasn't moved, the rook hasn't moved, there are no pieces in between. Can king castle? Yes, it can. And why is that? Still now, whatever the rules we have said hold true. First, there are no pieces in between. The king hasn't moved, the rook hasn't moved. The king should not be under check in any of the square it moves, but watch carefully. Although the queen is trying to put attack on the b8 square, but is that the square king moves through? No, the square rook moves through, but king only goes through these two, and the rook comes and put here. So rook moves 3 steps, but king only moves 2 steps, and both these 2 steps, none of the squares is under check. So for this, the the castling is possible. Okay, and we just showed. Now the point is, let me show you one more analysis where it will be even more interesting. Just an analysis, guys. Okay, so the king hasn't moved, the rook hasn't moved, all the pieces in between are clear. The rook is under attack, but the king is not. But can the castling happen? Again, no. Why? Because everything is fine. The rook can be under attack, but the point is, once you castle, the finals, the piece where the square where the king will move is going to be under check. So that will not allow the castling to happen. Okay, now I think I have told you almost all the rules. Okay, so remember very clearly, the rook can be under attack, the king cannot be, neither at current position nor at any square which the king traverses for castling. Okay, rook can be under attack during the traversal, but that's fine. Okay, rook and the corresponding king shouldn't have moved by then. Okay, the castling can happen at any point of the game at the rules being met. Generally, people prefer to do it at the early half of the game. And why is that? Generally, in the starting, the reason being because once you castle, like for example, let's say this move, I just happen to move away and then it castles. Once you castle, and let's say what happens is that right now it won't show you the correct picture, but had there been a lot of pawns here, the king would have moved to a safe area guarded by the pawns. The if you move all these pieces out, the rooks would be connected and they are much stronger, and then they can attack in the center. So that's a few advantages of why people choose to castle. So that would be it. These are all the rules, and you can always go on Wikipedia and learn, read all the rules so that you can memorize them. And I'll put up the link in my description so that you can refer to it. And that would be it. So try to understand this, try to understand each rule, try to see some games where the castling has been done, and try to play online games. Once you play online, you will see people castling all the time. So learn to understand the importance. While you see the gameplay, you will understand why people have done it, whether it's a long a short question or the long castle. So that would be it for today. It was a long episode, but I think the details of it had to be conveyed properly. So we'll meet next time with further episodes of the series. And if you're liking it, please share with your friends and do subscribe. Thanks a lot, guys. Till then, goodbye.